The movie opens with a news report about a car explosion where the driver's identity is still unknown and the police are investigating. Meanwhile, Matt Turner, a wealthy financier living in Berlin, is working out at his home gym. In the middle of his workout, his boss and CEO, Anders, calls him, giving him the job of contacting a client personally.
I woke up to an email from him. I think he's got buyer's remorse.
He likes the returns.
Matt, deep in work mode, heads to the shower, where he meets his wife, Heather. She reminds him that she has an important meeting with her friend Christina and asks him to take the kids to school. But Matt, focused on his upcoming call, barely listens. Frustrated by his lack of help, Heather gets upset, and Matt reluctantly agrees to take the kids. In the kitchen, their younger daughter Emily is having breakfast. Matt tells her to go upstairs and get her older brother Zach, which leads to an argument between the two. Annoyed by the situation and worried about his call, Matt steps in to calm things down, but Zach, feeling upset, decides to walk to school on his own. Matt and Emily eventually leave the house and get into their brand new Mercedes. However, when Matt tries to start the car, the dashboard flashes multiple error messages, suggesting it needs servicing. Ignoring the warnings, Matt decides to drive Emily to school anyway and convinces Zach to join them along the way. During the drive, Matt calls one of his important clients, persuading him to continue working with their firm. Just as the call ends successfully, an unexpected phone rings inside the car.
Are you gonna answer that?
What?
Are you gonna answer that?
It's not mine.
Matt searches for the source and finds a phone he doesn't recognize hidden in the car's armrest. Confused, he answers the call, only to hear a menacing voice telling him there's a bomb under his seat.
Matt Turner, there is a bomb under your seat.
Terrified, Matt quickly hangs up. Moments later, a photo of Matt and his children appears on the strange phone, prompting him to take a closer look. Distracted, he misses a crucial turn and doesn't notice a stopped car ahead until his kids' screams snap him back, and he slams on the brakes just in time. Matt's anxiety deepens as the strange phone keeps ringing. Despite his doubts, he reaches under his seat and feels the bomb for himself. Horrified, he pulls over and quickly takes a picture of the device with his own phone, confirming his worst fears. Shaking with terror, he's bombarded by repeated calls from the unknown number. Mustering his courage, Matt plugs in his headphones and reluctantly answers. The caller's voice delivers a chilling ultimatum.
Hang up on me again, and I detonate. Do you understand?
Yes.
Following the stranger's instructions, Matt learns that the bomb is pressure sensitive, placed right under his seat, and will detonate if he gets up. Worse, the caller holds a second detonator, making the situation even more dangerous. Matt begs for his children to be freed, but the caller refuses. Struggling to stay calm, Matt frantically wonders who the caller is, what he's done to deserve this, and why he's being targeted. But the voice on the other end simply laughs, hinting that all will be revealed in time. For now, Matt has no choice but to obey, forcing him to keep driving. Ignoring his children's growing concern, he follows the disturbing commands, even as they notice he's heading off course again. Trapped in a nightmare, Matt feels helpless, blindly obeying the blackmailer's orders. The voice on the phone insists it knows everything, then gives the next chilling instruction: get rid of the kids' phones. Glancing at his mirrors, Matt spots a motorcycle following closely and suspects it's connected to the caller. With the stranger's threats escalating, Matt, under pressure, has no time to waste. Gathering his courage, he slams on the brakes, causing the motorcycle to crash into them. To his shock, the rider is revealed to be Zach's girlfriend. Furious, Zach tries to jump out of the car, but Matt locks the doors and keeps driving. Both Emily and Zach are horrified, screaming at their father in confusion. Matt silences them with the terrifying truth.
There's a bomb in this car!
Leaving the children frozen in fear. A new message pings on the mysterious phone, showing a geolocation. On the way, Matt receives a frantic call from his colleague, Sylvain, who is trapped in a rigged car with his girlfriend. Reaching the location, Matt spots Sylvain's car and tries to help, but panic overtakes Sylvain's girlfriend. A police officer arrives, urging them to step out. In her desperation, Sylvain's girlfriend jumps from the car, causing a deadly explosion. Shocked and speechless, Matt drives away as the caller blames him for their deaths. The voice on the line promises he can stop more lives from being lost. He orders Matt to call his wife and instruct her to withdraw 50,000 euros from his safety deposit box and deliver it. Matt pleads for his wife to be left out, but the caller is unyielding. Desperate, Matt tries to reach Heather, but she doesn't answer. Instead, he contacts her friend Christina, learning that Heather is meeting with a divorce lawyer named Weber. As Matt searches for the lawyer's contact info, the kids react with disbelief, learning their parents are separating. Matt eventually gets in touch with Heather through the lawyer, informing her about the bomb rigged in his car. He assures her that he and the children are safe but must obey the stranger's demands. Despite Heather's insistence on calling the police, Matt convinces her to follow the caller's orders. He also seeks her forgiveness, acknowledging that he failed to notice her struggles. While Matt tries to calm his terrified children, the stranger gives new instructions. Find a secluded spot, wait there, and don't make any rash moves. Matt parks near a park, discreetly mutes his headphone microphone, and tunes into the news. The report reveals 2 car bombings, naming the first victim as the head of Nanite Capital, a well-known hedge fund in Berlin where Matt works. The police suspect a serial bomber, identifying the driver of a gray Mercedes as a suspect in the second explosion. After hearing this, Zach speculates that his dad and his colleagues are being targeted, but Matt denies any guilt, promising his kids they'll make it out of this. Soon after, Heather calls from the bank, telling Matt she's retrieved the documents and money from the safe deposit box. Matt quickly instructs her. When he gets to the bank, she must toss the money into his car and leave immediately. But as they reach the bank, the stranger changes the plan. This time, Heather is told to give the cash to a man in a blue suit nearby. Though shaken, Heather follows the order, handing the money to the confused man. Suddenly, police cars appear, arresting the man in the blue suit and detaining Heather. Urged by the stranger, Matt quickly drives away. Confused by the sudden appearance of the police, Matt tells the villain he didn't call them. The villain laughs, admitting he's the one who alerted them. Matt starts to suspect a setup, fearing he's being framed for his colleagues' murders. The stranger brushes off Matt's suspicion, mocking him for not being clever enough to catch on so quickly. He then reveals that Matt and Anders have a 208 million euros slush fund from their clients, stashed in Matt's emergency collateral account in a Dubai bank. The stranger keeps tight control over the situation, and soon after, a message arrives with Anders' address, their next stop. On the way, Matt devises a plan, handing Zach a phone with a picture of the bomb, theorizing that the phone might be linked to the explosives. Zach agrees, and Matt hatches a risky idea. During the drive, Zach notices a large street-side television broadcasting the news, showing his father as the main suspect in the car bombing and murder. Just then, Matt receives a call. It's from Heather's phone, but when he answers, it's not her. It's Angela Brickman, a Europol agent. Matt frantically tries to prove his innocence, explaining how he's being controlled and the bomb under his seat. He begs Angela to jam the mobile signals to cut the stranger's connection, but his plea is ignored, and Matt is forced to end the call. Frustrated with Matt's attempts to get help, the stranger demands that he speed up, pushing him further into danger. Arriving at the meeting point, Matt and his children spot Anders waiting in his car. The stranger instructs Matt to call his boss and put him on speaker. With no choice, Matt obeys, threatening Anders to liquidate the Dubai fund or face severe consequences. Stunned by the betrayal, Anders reluctantly complies. Once the money is transferred, the villain demands that Matt send it to his account. Desperate for freedom, Matt agrees, hoping this will be the end. But the stranger has more twisted plans. Matt must retrieve a gun from the glove compartment and shoot Anders, or the bomb will detonate, killing him and his kids. The children beg Matt not to do it, reminding him that Anders is his friend. Torn between his fear and his morals, Matt struggles, but ultimately throws the gun aside. To their horror, Anders' car explodes, sending debris flying toward them. In the aftermath, Matt sees Emily's leg bleeding from a piece of shattered glass. Matt instructs Zach to help, using anything he can find to stop the bleeding. This is Matt's breaking point. Fueled by rage, he swears revenge on the stranger, vowing to track him down. Determined to get Emily to a hospital, Matt speeds away, even as police cars and helicopters close in. They lose communication briefly in a tunnel, but once they emerge, Matt is intercepted just as they come out of the tunnel. Surrounded by law enforcement, Matt frantically pleads for help for his injured daughter. However, the authorities view him as a criminal, not a victim. Using a robot equipped with a camera, they search Matt's car but miss the explosives, which are hidden deep within the vehicle. Europol agent Angela Brickman, unarmed, takes control of the situation. She informs Matt that all communications within a 5-block radius have been jammed. As they talk, Angela speculates about who might be behind the attack, suggesting angry clients or even Matt himself, given his financial success during a turbulent year. She learns about the Dubai account, the last unfrozen company account, and that the stranger demanded the whole of its funds. While experts inspect the car, they find no bombs in the doors and proceed to remove them. However, when they check under Matt's seat, they discover the explosive, wired to the seat's sensors, making it impossible to defuse. Meanwhile, Emily is treated by paramedics, and Zach is escorted away by officers. Their mother waits anxiously beyond the police line. While relieved that his children are safe, Matt realizes the bomb under his seat has yet to be attended. Desperate to reach his wife, Matt can only use the radio. After talking with Heather, he confronts Angela, who still seems doubtful and hasn't pursued the true culprit. Determined to seek justice on his own, Matt breaks through the police blockade, sparking a new chase. Once he's out of the jamming zone, the stranger calls again, raising the stakes. Matt sets a condition. For the money exchange, they must meet face to face. Reluctantly, the stranger agrees and gives him an address. Avoiding the police, Matt drives to the meeting location. At the site of a crowded rally, a masked figure enters his car. It's the villain. Threatening to blow up the car in the middle of the crowd, the stranger demands immediate payment. After seeing Matt's compliance, the stranger suggests moving to a quieter place. At the waterfront, Matt stops the car. The stranger removes his mask, revealing himself to be Anders, Matt's boss himself. Matt is shocked, having thought Anders was dead after witnessing his supposed demise. Unable to grasp how Anders could orchestrate such a complex scheme, committing terrible acts to frame him while escaping suspicion, Matt is bewildered. With a chilling laugh, Anders admits to faking his death and meticulously planning everything to make Matt the fall guy for his crimes. Anders reveals his motive: eliminating the head of their company who threatened to expose Anders' embezzlement from an offshore account. Growing impatient, Mueller demands that Matt transfer the money immediately, but Matt, consumed by despair, ignores Anders' demands and drives the car into a nearby pole, causing it to topple onto its side. The car teeters precariously on the edge of a bridge, both men at risk of falling into the water below. Mueller tries to reach his remote detonator, but Matt, struggling to free himself, finally breaks loose from his seatbelt and plunges into the river. Mueller remains trapped inside the vehicle, which soon erupts into a fiery explosion, ending his life. Angela and the police arrive on the scene. Angela gives Matt a nod, signaling that he can leave. As the credits roll, news reports confirm that the bombings were part of Anders' heist, and Matt's cooperation with Europol helps bring the case to a close. Well, that's the end of this story. Consider subscribing for more recaps like this. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.